Hi, my name is Cassandra Michel, and this is speech 3, which I have titled Colorism in the Latino Community. So, colorism, it's a form of racial discrimination, but it happens within your own community, and it usually favors lighter skinned people um, than darker skin tone. Today, I will argue that colorism has a significant negative impact on the quality of life of the darker skinned members of the Latino community. As a member of the Latino and Chicano community, I have personally seen some of the effects that colorism can have on the darker skinned counterpart in our community. Colorism doesn't just hurt people's feelings, it greatly impacts people's lives. And if this is news to you, then you need to pay more attention. With my two main points, I will argue that colorism negatively affects mental health, and that along with racism, colorism is one of the most prevalent forms of microaggressions that darker skinned Latinos face. So, moving on to my first point, mental health. Before I can argue how colorism affects mental health, I need to address anti blackness within the Latino community. The existence of Afro Latinos or Latinos of African descent is often downplayed or denied. For example, although Afro Mexicanos have been in Mexico since the 15th century, 2015 was the first time ever on their census that Mexico allowed people to identify as African or Afro Mexicano. According to the article Afro Latino, a deeply rooted identity among U.S. Hispanics, when Mexico added the Afro Latino option, about 1.4 Mexicans identified themselves as Afro Mexicano. The reason I brought up some of the anti blackness that is seen within the Latino community is because it plays a big role when it comes to colorism and mental health. So, the article Skin Color Matters in Latino Communities Identifying, Understanding, and Addressing Mestizaje Racial Ideologies in Clinical Practice, Araujo and Borrell identified 3 studies that consistently link discrimination to mental health outcomes such as stress and depressive symptoms. According to the latest census, Latinos are the fastest growing minority in the US. However, when it comes to mental health research, the Latino community is underrepresented. But from the little research that has been done on Latino communities, it strongly suggests that individuals with darker and yet less European looking phenotypes experience more racial stigma and discrimination, and as a result, psychological distress. Colorism is often dismissed as being hurt feelings, but it is something that can be detrimental to one's mental health. But these studies prove how colorism within the Latino community has long term mental health effects on its own community members. Color, colorism even influences the opportunities to access that can improve your quality of life. So, according to a study done by Bonilla Silvia in 2014, she found that darker skinned Latinos face higher levels of discrimination when it comes to the labor and the housing market compared to their lighter skinned counterparts. Which moves me to my next point, microaggressions. In order to better understand how discrimination based on colorism looks like, I'm going to show you the following video. And in this short clip, it's from Love and Hip Hop. The artist identifies herself as Amara La Negra. And in this scene, she was trying to cross over to the US music industry and was getting help from this producer so he could show her the ropes, basically. Um,
the day in the music industry, they're looking for cookie cutter poster childs.
Not all Latinas look like J-Lo or Sofia Vergara or Shakira. So where are the women that look like myself?
You're just so intense about this whole African thing.
People like to box me in, because of my look or because I'm dark-skinned, but that doesn't make me less Latina. I'm 100% Latina and proud of it.
So from the video, you could see how irritating it can be to be discriminated by someone who's a part of your own community. But more importantly, you could see how these microaggressions can add up over time and have long-term effects on someone. So I'm going to offer 3 solutions that you could do, and these are solutions that you could start doing as soon as you get home today. One solution is to take a step back and address how you contribute to the continuation of colorism within your own community. Rewire the prejudices that rich, white, light skinned male patriarchy has instilled in you. Be more self aware. Ask yourself, do I benefit from colorism? If so, how? And how can I change that or help? If colorism has impacted you in a negative way, think about how you can heal from it, from your traumatic experiences. The second thing you can do is promote media, Instagram, Twitter, books that do not adhere to the European beauty standards. Support darker skinned artists within your own community. Look for artists whose work revolves around their experience of being a darker skinned Latino member. And lastly, but the third point is the most important, do not question people's lived experiences. If someone confides in you enough to tell you that they were discriminated against because of their skin tone and that it's within their own community, believe them and support them. Do not try to downplay the trauma that it can cause or try to excuse the behavior of the other people. Thank you. This was my third speech on colorism.